Hey everybody, it's your girl Jade, and welcome back to episode 3 of my new short series, Decoding Religion. This episode will be all about the prophets, so let's get into it. In each of the sacred texts, the Old Testament and the New Testament, which makes the Bible, and the Quran, God has always sent his prophets to his people, okay? The prophets are humans, just like anybody else. The only difference between the people and the prophets is that the people are the ones that are just out here living life. They may need a little more guidance. They're not striving that hard probably to reach out to God and ask for him to guide them. The prophets were God's chosen, his holy messengers. So they were seeking, and they found what they were looking for. God blessed them with the ability to see and to hear certain things that normal people weren't able to see and hear. And because they had those special gifts, they had a huge responsibility to speak to the rest of the people, to warn them about impending danger if they did not change their ways. So a lot of people may have been out there doing what they weren't supposed to do, maybe lying, maybe cheating, maybe committing adultery, just blatantly not listening to the voice of the Most High. So God's messengers, his prophets, were sent to convey whatever message he gave to them. Moses' message was the 10 Commandments. He came and he gave his people the 10 Commandments and laid down the basic foundation of what we have today. Noah came to warn his people about a flood that was going to wipe out the entire earth. God was going to restart the earth by flooding the people that were at that time inhabiting the planet. Okay? And he sent his messenger Noah to warn the people and to pretty much start a new generation of people on the planet after the flood. We have King David. He was a king and a prophet. King David had a whole entire king after him, trying to kill him. He is proof that no one can touch God's chosen, for one. It doesn't matter if you're a king, doesn't matter how much money you have. If God has chosen you for a job, you're going to do that job, and no one can stop you. King David was proof that if you cry out to the Lord, he will answer. So we all know that David wrote a lot of the Psalms in the book of Psalms. So that's pretty much proof that he cried out to his Lord and his Lord answered him every time. Who else do we have? Muhammad in the Quran. He was a prophet. He couldn't read or write. So he's living proof that it doesn't matter what kind of circumstance that you are in, God is still able to reach you and give you messages. It doesn't matter who is looking down upon you. It doesn't matter who is saying that you will never amount to anything, or you're not smart enough, or you're too weak. The book says the least shall be the greatest. God chose the people that others looked down upon, that others saw as lesser than, and he built them up to be the greatest in the eyes of the people. They were chosen to speak the messages of the Most High to people who could hear not and see not. He always chooses the ones that seem to be very small, but in reality, They are great people. So this is why we should never look down on anyone or judge another person, because you really don't know what they're capable of. A lot of average people, they can't even hear the voice of God. We got billionaires, millionaires who can't even hear the voice of God. Then you have some poor people, some disabled people that can hear him quite clear. So we must pay attention to these things. The Quran also says that the prophets are not leaders over the people. They're not here to boss you around and tell you what to do. Their only job is to relay the message clearly. The prophets are not responsible for anybody's soul. So if you choose not to listen to the prophet, whoever that is in that day and age, that's on you. The people who chose not to listen to Noah, they drowned in the flood. Noah wasn't responsible for those people. God didn't say, hey, Noah, since these people didn't listen to you, now you're going to be punished for them. No, the messengers are only sent to relay the message clearly, to speak the truth, and to speak the warning. So, and also another important thing to pay attention to is that in each time period, there were different messengers. So over and over again, for each generation, God will send a messenger. Jesus was a messenger. When he grew up and his time had come to spread whatever message he had to spread, he did what he was supposed to do. He went into the churches. He told them, hey, you trying to make money off of these people in God's place of worship, where you're supposed to be praising his name, but you turn it into a place to make money. It's disrespectful. He saw that. He said something. He healed blind people. You know, he did a lot of great things. He fed millions of people. Thousands of people off of fish and bread. He did that stuff through the will of God. He was able to prove God's power with his actions because God was working through him. So the prophet's job is to spread the truth and to allow the Most High to work through them, so the people will see, so they will believe, so they will understand. Pretty much the prophet is speaking for God. So bottom line, life isn't about just having a good time. We're here for a reason, a purpose. God creates all his creations with purpose. So we have to make a choice whether we want to follow our Creator and find our purpose, or whether we want to rebel against our Creator and do what we want in this lifetime. The prophets were sent as the messengers, someone that humans could actually relate to, because they were no different than you and I. The only thing that made them different is that they had completely submitted themselves to God and allowed him to use them for his will. So they came with the message to relay the message, to speak the truth to the people, so that we can make a correct decision, so that we will have something to base our lives off of, so we can see it a little more clearly as to why we're here and what we're supposed to be doing. He uses his power. God uses his power to work through people who others may see as weak. But he uses the weakest people, the meek people, to do great things, just to show that he is almighty, all powerful in every way. So Thank you guys for watching episode 3 of Decoding Religion. I hope to see you guys on the next episode. Peace.